Batman the Animated Series debuted on September 5, 1992, and the last episode aired 7 years later on January 16, 1999. But I believe the series should have ended much earlier than that, so here's my take on when Batman the Animated Series died. Batman the Animated Series ran for 109 episodes across 3 seasons, and is often considered one of the greatest and most influential animated series of all time, because of its groundbreaking art style, mature tone, and high-quality storytelling. Season 1 contains some of the best stories in the series, most of which tell the origins of Batman's allies or his humongous cast of villains. And this season was also a major influence on the whole Batman universe, because of the creation of Harley Quinn and a complete overhaul of Mr. Freeze's backstory, essentially transforming him into a popular Batman supervillain. Most of Season 1 focused on Batman working alone, with Robin making only an occasional appearance. But Season 2 did a soft rebranding of the series, where Robin was featured in almost all 20 of the season's episodes, 10 of which were retitled as The Adventures of Batman and Robin. Since most of Batman's popular villains were already introduced in Season 1, the quality of the characters introduced in Season 2 was hit and miss. But the high points of the season were episodes focused on the possible rehabilitation of Two-Face, Poison Ivy, the Riddler, and Harley Quinn. But even with a few dull episodes, the series still had some gas left in the tank. But the quality of the show would screech to a halt in Season 3. After a 2-year hiatus, Batman the Animated Series, or The Adventures of Batman and Robin as it was known then, switched networks in 1997 from Fox to the WB. As a result, the show received a drastic makeover, with a more simplified art style to match the look of the network's Superman the Animated Series, so the 2 shows could be aired back-to-back as the new Batman-Superman adventures. There was some continuity carried over from the original show, with the same creative team still leading the project, and almost all of the actors returning to voice their characters. But that's where the similarities stop, because nearly everything else about the show had changed. The simplified redesigns of the characters were the first nail in the coffin for the series, because now the characters were less expressive and more drab-looking. Joker is by far the worst redesign of them all, with a change to his eye color. His suit now only had 2 colors, and he no longer had his signature red lips, or any lips for that matter. Aside from the lackluster art style, most of Season 3 suffered from poor character development, and the first episode, Holiday Nights, is where things really went downhill for the series, because it introduced too many changes to the series too quickly, to the point of becoming frustrating. Holiday Nights is broken up into 3 Christmas-themed vignettes, where in the first, Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn kidnap Bruce Wayne and use his credit cards for a shopping spree. In the second, Barbara Gordon spots a group of shoplifters at a mall that turn out to be portions of Clayface. And in the third, Batman and Robin race to stop the Joker from killing a crowd at a New Year's celebration. The problems with these vignettes are that previous episodes featuring Harley or Ivy never portrayed them to have materialistic ambitions. So to have them steal Bruce Wayne's money for the sole purpose of going on a petty shopping spree was a complete departure from their established character motivations. Clayface was killed off in Season 2 in the episode Mudslide, but then all of a sudden he was back with no explanation. And a similar lack of explanation happened in the third vignette with the sudden appearance of a new Robin. Clayface's return from death wasn't explained until his next appearance in the 8th episode Growing Pains. Tim Drake's appearance as the new Robin was thankfully explained in episode 2, Sins of the Father. But that episode raised even more questions by showing Batgirl knows Batman's secret identity, and that Dick Grayson is still around fighting crime by himself. And both of these plot developments weren't explained until way late in episode 17, Old Wounds, when the season was almost over. Prolonging the backstory of significant plot details can work if the audience is given breadcrumbs of details along the way that lead up to the big reveal. But this didn't happen. The show introduced several major changes early on without any hints of why they happened along the way. the audience was just left to accept these changes as normal until much later, which made most of Season 3 very unsatisfying to watch. Having to tolerate a lingering lack of closure was made even more difficult because several episodes along the way had subpar plots, such as Love is a Croc, which is a story about the troubled relationship of Baby Doll and Killer Croc, who aren't very compelling villains by themselves, and they were a whole lot less compelling to watch when paired together. It's important to say that there are some standout episodes in the season that are often cited as some of the best in the entire series. For example, the What If episode Over the Edge was extremely good by exploring what might happen if Batgirl died and Jim Gordon decided to hunt Batman after discovering his daughter's secret identity. And Mad Love was Harley Quinn's long overdue origin story, which was an engaging character study about her abusive relationship with the Joker. But episodes of this quality were overshadowed by the looming simplified art style, unresolved character developments, and lack of more engaging stories. Which is why on September 13th, 1997, when Batman the Animated Series aired for the first time on the WB, is also the same day it died. Click a video for more interesting content right here on Fun Fact Films.